Hello everyone, welcome back to the new episode of our tutorial series on blood bank management system. In the previous episode, we have successfully added the functionality to login in our application, and in this episode we will add the functionality to save the information of logged in user in our donor module. So without further ado, let's move to our tutorial. So first of all, we'll need to open our application, which is blood bank management system, and I have kept our project folder in desktop, so I'll just open it and let's open the solution file of our application. So I'll just double click on blood bank management system.solution and it will open on Visual Studio IDE. And this was the login form we created for our application, and we have already added the functionality to login, and we have already logged in successfully. And in order to get the information of the logged in user, we need to get the username from the login form. So let's work on that. So I'll go to login or button login clicked event. So I'll just double click on login button, and in this form we need to create a static string method. Create a static string method to save the username. So a static string user, or I will call it logged in user. That's it. And whenever we successfully log in here, when user is successfully logged in, we will save the username in our logged in user static string. So save the username in logged in user static method. So logged in user is equals to l dot username. So that's it. We have successfully saved the username of our logged in user in logged in user static method. So let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. And then another step is to create a method to get the user ID of logged in user using that username. For that, we need to go to Solution Explorer and let's open our user DAL. So I'll just double click on user DAL, and here we will create a method to get the user ID from username. So let's go to bottom, and then after end region I will create another region. So hash region and then hash end region, and between this region we will create a method of user BLL type. So public user BLL get ID from username, and here we will pass a string username. So string, and we'll pass username. And don't worry about the error, this method requires a user to be returned, and for that we will create a object of user BLL and return it. So user BLL u is equals to new and then user BLL. That's it, and we will return it, return u. That's it, and it solves the error as well. And then we need to create SQL connection to connect database. Create SQL connection to connect database. So SQL connection con is equals to new SQL connection, and here we'll pass my connection string. And after that we need to create data table to hold the data temporarily. So data table to hold the data from database temporarily. So data table dt is equals to new data table. That's it. And after that we will create a try catch block to get the user ID from username. So let's start our try block, and then we'll have catch block. Here we'll have exception ex, and if we have any exceptional error we will display message. So display error message if there's any exceptional errors. So message box dot show ex dot message, that's it. And last one is finally, and finally we will close database connection. So connection dot close, and this will close the database connection. And inside the try block we will write the code to get the ID from username. So the first step is to write the SQL query to get the ID from username. So let's create the SQL query. So string SQL is equals to select user underscore ID. So let's check we have user ID or not. So I'll go to database, which is Server Explorer, and open my database, which is Blood Bank Management System. Let's expand tables. Let's expand TBL users. So we have user ID. So we will select user ID. Select user ID from TBL underscore users, and where username is equals to, we need to concatenate the username we passed in our method. So here we will concatenate username plus username. That's it. This is the SQL query to get user ID from username. And then we will create a SQL data adapter to execute the query. So create SQL data adapter, SQL data adapter is equals to new SQL data adapter, and here we'll pass SQL and database connection. So that's it. After that we need to open database connection. So open database connection, and here we will pass connection dot open. This will open the database connection. After that we will fill the data from SQL data adapter to our data table. So let's fill the data in data table from adapter. So adapter dot fill, and we will fill data table. That's it. And if there's any data, then we will get the ID of the user based on that username. So if there's user based on the username, then get the user underscore ID. So if dt dot rows dot count is greater than 0, then we will get the user ID. So u dot user ID is equals to int dot parse, and we'll get dt dot rows, first row, and our column is user underscore ID in string format. So that's it. So we have successfully created a method to get the user ID from username. So let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and we will use this method in our donor module. So let's open our Solution Explorer and let's open our donor form. So I'll just double click on FRM donors, and while adding new donors or updating new donor, we need to save the data of logged in user. So let's open our code view of donors form. So I'll just double click on add button, and while adding the new donor, here we have passed one as a default user, but instead of 1 we will pass the ID of actual logged in user. So here I will get the ID of logged in user, and for that I'll create a string variable, string logged in user is equals to, and we need to get from login form. So frm login dot, and let's check the static string we created in login form. So I'll go to frm login.cs, and here we need to get this one. So I'll just copy this logged in user, copy, and let's go to form donors.cs, and here I will paste it here, and that's it. So let's hover over the error, and we do not have any options. We have an error, and this error is caused because we do not have public, so this static method is not accessible. So let's go to form login.cs, and here before static we need to specify its type, so it will be public type, public. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. When it's not public, it will be of private type method, and which is not accessible in other forms. So when it's made public, it will be accessible from other form as well. So let's go to form donors.cs. Now we do not have error, and it's accessible from our form donor as well. So let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and this logged in user contains the username of the logged in user. So let's use the user BLL and user DAL to get the user ID from logged in user. So user BLL USR is equals to DAL dot get. Sorry, we don't have get. I think we need to create a user DAL. So before here, so here I will create a data access layer or object of data access layer for user DAL. So user DAL UDAL is equals to new user DAL. Let's save it, and let's go to our code, and here we will use user DAL, which is UDAL dot get ID from username, and here we will pass the username of logged in user, which is logged in user. That's it, and this will get the data of logged in user, and here instead of 1 we will get the ID of logged in user, so it will be user dot user ID. So that's it. This will get the ID of logged in user and save in our added by field. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. We need to check whether we have added the added by field in update method or not. So let's check. We have in added by as well. So I'll just copy the code from add functionality, which is this one, and I'll paste this in update event as well. So let's go to update, and here instead of this one I will delete this and I will paste it here. So I'll press Ctrl and V. So let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and let's start our application, and let's check whether the functionality works or not. So I'll just log into application and click on start button. Let's log in using admin, and admin login successful. Let's go to users to check the ID of logged in user, which is 1005. I'll close this, and I will add a new donor to check whether 1005 will be added by field or not. So let's add random user. It will be Zone, last name will be week, zone at week.com, and gender will be male, blood group will be O positive, contact will be something, and address will be something. Let's click on add button to add the user. So I'll just click on add. New donor added successfully. Let's click on OK. Here zone week is added, and let's check the added by field, and here in added by field ID of logged in user is showing successfully. So this is, guys, I think I will add one other information here to show the logged in user. So let's close this and add that functionality as well. So I'll just stop the application, and in our home form I'll go to home form, go to Source Explorer and open home form, and here I will show the logged in user. So go to toolbox and search for label. I'll drag and drop label, and here I want to show a logged in user. Let's drag it little below here and select the label and go to properties, and let's change this text, and it will be logged in as, and it will be LBL user title, and let's save it. And I will drag and drop another label. I will just drag here and put it here, and let's change the properties. It will be LBL user, and let's change the text. I just want to hide it. I'll just add a full stop or dot in text, so it won't be displayed. But when the form is loaded, I want to display the username of logged in user. So let's go to form load event by double clicking on blank or empty area, and it will activate our form load event. And after the donors, displaying the donors in data grid view, I want to display the username of logged in user, and for that we need to access LBL user, and the text is equals to, it will be frm login dot logged in user. So that's it. This will give the username from login form and display in our logged in text here. So I'll just save it, and I want its font color to be green, so I'll just select the dot or user and go to properties. Let's change this font color from black to green. So where is green? I think here is the green, so I'll select the lime green for now, and let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Let's start our application, and let's log in. Admin login successful, and the logged in user and its username is showing successfully. So this is it, guys. We have successfully added the functionality to add the information of logged in user in our donor module, and also displayed the logged in user in our home form. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and if you have any confusion related to this video, then don't forget to comment. I'll reply as soon as possible. And in the next episode, we will create an animated loading form for our application, which will be shown before loading the actual application. So see you in next episode. Till then, see you soon. Bye bye.